Hi, I am Mohamad Faizz bin Hairudin, 15 years old, from Madrasah Tarbiyah Islamiyah. Will be reviewing New York Times best-selling novel entitled Bob. I will start with a little bit of synopsis. Bob is a small green creature who has been stuck alone in a closet for years, awaiting the return of Livy, his friend. Livy is visiting her grandmother in Australia for the first time in 5 years and finds Bob where she left him the last time she was there, even though she hardly remembers him. Livy is determined to help Bob find his way back to his family. At the beginning of the story, Livy feels scared and powerless, and that's how the world sees her. This is her identity. To help Bob, she will need to be brave and independent. This is her essence. But this essence feels uncomfortable to her, so she resists it, just as Bob pushes her to worry out of a need to reunite with his family. The tension between Livy's identity and her essence is what comprises the internal journey of the book. I find that a hero exists completely and totally within her identity. Livy is terrified of being alone in the world without her parents. She has memories of having to go home early from a slumber party and worries about whether she'll be able to cope when her mom leaves her alone with Granny. The inciting incident happened when Livy meets Bob and realizes that she can tell anyone else about him. She will have to figure this thing out on her own. Livy will have to find her internal strength to grow into her essence of an independent, confident young girl. Besides, I noticed that the hero is present with a visible goal that will move her from identity to essence. At this point in the book, Livy realizes that 5 years ago, maybe Bob saved her, not the other way around, and vows to save him in return by helping him find his family. In the first half of the book, leading up to the midpoint, the hero has one foot in identity and one foot in essence. She is aware that she needs to make a change and is experimenting with how to do it. Livy goes into town with her family, meets Sarah, and picks up on their friendship where it left off 5 years ago. Livy's mom is still around, but Livy is starting to distance herself from her. At the midpoint, Bob comes at the end of chapter 9 when Livy realizes she has to help Bob find his family, but has no idea how to do that. It happens with this conversation between Livy and Bob. After Livy's room reads a story about a magic well. Did you hear that story? I whispered to Bob when she's gone. I wish our well were magic. I feel him turn his head, and all I can see in the dark are his big wet eyes. I wish I had a mother, he says. Then Livy's mom does leave as she been dreading will happen. In the second half of this story, she starts to take action to save Bob. Putting his need over her own fears, little by little. The hero tries one last time to go back to living in her identity, but it doesn't work. In Bob, Livy and Sarah are hanging out in Livy's bedroom. Livy tells Sarah about Bob, hoping to convince her to help, but Sarah makes fun of Livy for having an invisible friend, and Livy's last hope for help evaporates. I love how the author changed my perception toward the character. The hero's identity is already there, and she can't go back. She's tried and it hasn't worked. She has no choice but to go forward toward her essence with everything she's got, but it's not easy. In the story, the main character, Livy, must face scary things alone in order to finally reunite Bob with his family. Danny goes missing. Grant and Livy go out to search for him. Grant gets tired and falls behind, but Livy sees Bob and strikes out on her own to catch up with him. They find Danny, who has the book that Mom was reading about the well dwellers. Livy, Bob and Danny realize that Bob is a well dweller, and that is the key to reuniting him with his family. In the climax of the story, the hero achieves her visible goal, and in so doing, realizes her essence. Bob's mom appears and is terrified. She is focused on Livy, and Livy must be brave and face her by herself. Livy steps outside of her fear and offers Bob's mom the contents of her pockets as a gift so that she will bring rain again. Bob's mom takes the black pound that helps Livy remember Bob. Livy loses Bob, and with the pound also gone, has no way to even remember him. By the end of the book, Livy realizes she's okay, not just without her mom, but without Bob too. She has completed the journey from her identity, being terrified of being alone, to her essence, being brave and independent. That's all from me. Thank you.